In this video, we are going to be going over the ultimate pickleball warm-up routine. We will also be breaking down the 3 key components to a good pickleball warm-up routine and the exercises included in each step. These include first, performing isometrics, second, muscle reinforcement exercises, and third and finally the dynamic warm-up phase. We'll also be providing rep ranges for each of the exercises performed in this warm-up routine, with the goal of it taking about 5 to 10 minutes to complete. Feel free to use this video as a follow-along tool so you can complete the warm-up in real time the next time you go play pickleball. The first exercise we will go over is called the mid/low trap isometric. During this exercise, the goal is to reach your arms out towards the side, squeeze between the shoulder blades for up to 5 seconds. You can perform this exercise with reaching your arms straight out to the side and then also performing them with your arms up in a Y pattern. The goal with this exercise is to squeeze and hold for 5 seconds, and I recommend doing both the arms straight out and in a Y pattern. The next exercise we will go over is legs crossed seated down on the court. To perform this exercise, you're going to begin with your legs crossed at your ankles. You're going to have your bottom leg perform a kicking motion and your top leg performing a bending motion. The goal is to resist each of your legs, so you should be squeezing your quads and hamstrings on each of the opposite legs. Similar to the first exercise, the goal with this is to squeeze and hold for 5 seconds and perform 5 times on each side. The next exercise we will go over is seated on the court, performing an ankle dorsiflexion isometric. To do this exercise, begin by seated on the court with your legs straight out. You will then pull your foot towards your knee, as you should feel your shin muscles contract. Similar to the other exercises, we are going to squeeze and hold for 5 seconds at a time. Be sure to also perform this exercise 5 times on each of your legs. The final isometric exercise we will perform is a seated abdominal crunch. To perform this exercise, you're going to start by sitting on the court, and then you're going to cross your arms across your chest. You will then rotate one of your elbows towards the opposite hip or knee, and once you get into position, you're going to squeeze your lower abdominals. You should feel the muscles working in the area slightly below your belly button. The goal with this exercise is to perform 5-second squeezes for 5 repetitions on each side. We will now begin with the muscle reinforcement exercises, starting with crossover walk with a squat. To begin, you're going to step slowly behind one of your legs, bending down with most of the weight being on the front foot. Feel free to stand back up into the standing position, reaching your arms through a full range of motion. The key with this exercise is to allow your knee to go over your toe and your back to round as tolerated. The goal with this exercise is to perform 1 to 2 rounds with 8 repetitions going towards each side. The next exercise we will perform is a forward lunge with a twist. To perform this exercise, simply perform your forward lunge, twisting towards the front leg. The goal with this exercise is to allow your knee to go over your toe and to progress the trunk rotation with each repetition. Perform this exercise 1 to 2 rounds with 8 repetitions on each side. And the final muscle reinforcement exercise we will demonstrate is chops. To perform this exercise, start with one foot placed in front of the other, reaching towards your back leg. You will then perform a full rotation, reaching up and around the opposite shoulder. This is a great exercise to add in weight and speed as tolerated if you have access to the equipment. Similar to the other exercises here, feel free to perform 1 to 2 rounds with 8 repetitions on each side. Finally, we will demonstrate the dynamic warm-up for pickleball. First exercise we will demonstrate is high knees, bringing your knees up towards your chest as high as you can. The goal is to get past 90 degrees. Next, we will perform butt kicks, trying to progress range of motion as tolerated. Next, we will perform karaoke, bringing the knee fully across the opposite leg. When doing this exercise, make sure you face the same direction so you have each leg getting the full rotation as you move the opposite way. Next, we have forward A skips, so bringing your knee up, going rapidly back towards the ground. It's also important when doing this exercise, you have the opposite arm swinging. Next, we will perform B skips, so begin with one leg kicking out with the knee slightly bent, performing a skipping motion. Next exercise is power skips, so jumping off of one leg, trying to get up through a full range of motion as tolerated. Next warm-up exercise is performing a backward run, so just trying to build up speed as you progress backwards. Next exercise is performing just a forward sprint, so building up speed as you run across the court. And the final exercise here we will show is a lateral shuffle across the court. So shuffling your feet, building up speed as you move across laterally, and again performing each side. As shown in the video, it's pretty easy to utilize the width of the tennis or pickleball courts to perform the dynamic warm-up phase. You can easily double up on these dynamic warm-ups with performing down and backs, as opposed to just simply one time across with each of these specific movements. This concludes the ultimate pickleball warm-up routine. Again, the big takeaways with this is to be performing your exercises in the order described in the video. Begin with your isometric exercises leading into the muscle reinforcement exercises, and then finally completing the dynamic warm-up component. Again, the goal with this warm-up routine is to take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to complete. If you have any questions on how to perform any of these exercises or are interested in learning more about pickleball exercises and warm-ups, make sure you reach out to me directly. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.